Hey there, everybody. So, if you've been looking around on my YouTube channel, you may or may not have noticed I've been updating a few things. There's a few playlists that are gone now, and some have been reorganized and put together in different ways, which I'm much happier with. It's not a real big change, but it is something that was important to me because I'd been taking a look at not just my website, but my YouTube channel and some other stuff, and then deciding whether or not I was going to kind of, clear out some other things. I'm really seriously thinking about closing down my Twitter account and some other stuff, mainly because of the fact that in the pursuit of wanting to streamline what I'm doing and what I'm working on, I think that's been a big factor. And I've watched quite a few videos. It's really been interesting to watch different things on YouTube that have been pertaining to either YouTubers retiring or taking a step back or reorienting what they want to pursue, which ends up with them also taking a look at what they have and deciding to reorganize or maybe even scrap it and start over in some circumstances. And I think that latter one is the one that there's been less of. For me, I'm kind of in a weird sort of limbo state in some of this, not in a bad way necessarily, but certainly one where I know that if I'm going to take a lot of what I'm doing far more seriously than I had been in years past, I need to have some sort of pipeline of not only thought, but execution of ideas and things like that. I was able to start organizing a list as far as what my content was going to be coming out, not only on this channel, but the other platforms that I still plan on working through, like my blog and eventually my podcast and things like that. This is something that I brought up in conversation with a few of my other colleagues. And this is in talking about the idea of whenever, you may have a goal set in mind that you're moving toward. And reorganization and organization, the initial one, is always something to be considered whenever you set goal points. And this is something I'm actively doing right now. But what happens whenever either financial issues or emotional things, whatever, there's always going to be different variables that come in. What happens at that point when you have to shift gears and go, okay, I'm going to have to move that goalpost back a little bit, or maybe that goal isn't there anymore. And what happens with that? And so when I've been, for a few days, I've been writing down some stuff, and I've been really reluctant to dive into the other stuff. And I've been reaching out to people that I'm working with on stuff and looking at a lot of the projects that I have in flux right now and trying to understand, like, not just what is my plan for next year, but maybe what is my overall career plan for the next 5 to 10 years and beyond. That is something that I believe I've been missing on this channel and a few other places, is a real sense of direction as to where I want to end up. A lot of times I thought, well, if I can just get the ideas out that I want to put out, then I'll have success come along with that. I cannot stop thinking of something that a friend of mine told me once. Being an artist, it is often a lonely and expansively unknown world that you're going to be traversing. And it can often lead to moments of insecurity, sadness, loneliness, anger, confusion, memory loss, stress, a lot of those things. Things change. As you age, as your perspectives in life change, so do your goals. Sometimes they disappear. And I've spoken about idea debt many times. And there will be times in my life whenever I've had this idea that I just didn't want to let go. And then I've had to really ask myself, is that worth pursuing? Is it worth the time that I have left? Whatever that might be, realistically, something that I could still do. And that is something, quite frankly, I have to remind myself of every fucking day because it can get to you. It really can. You're never really guaranteed of anything. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't plan, that you shouldn't try and figure out what your goal is, because even if they don't manifest, at least you were working towards something. And I'm going to tell you honestly, once again, that is something that I have to deal with every single day. I struggle with that all the time. And that's fine. I have to remember that that's fine. And I mean, the emotional swings are not great. but it is a reality that I face. So with that, that was what I wanted to talk about tonight. Part of that was because of the fact I was filming earlier, and right over there on my filming area, there is a photography bag, one of many that are sitting here in front of me. And a while back, I had made a post about inheriting a few bits of photography equipment. And when I got them, it sort of hit me, but it didn't really hit me until I finally went through one. This is the second sort of collection like this I've gotten. A friend of mine, whose husband passed away, she gifted me his Star Wars collection. And I was kind of astounded. I just, I helped her with the shipping on it, and I got it. It's still boxed up. And the reason for that is because I don't want it to intermix with the rest of my stuff for one specific reason. I want to be able to get a shelf and a display area to put his collection in. And I want his name on there. So that way it is part of my collection, but I know it's his and his collection lives on. I had also gone to an estate sale, sort of, and this was in Louisiana. This was probably about 3-4 years ago that I got some of these drafting tools over here. And I've got them all over the place. And in fact, this one, this brush was actually from that. And I use that now to brush off my illustrations and stuff, as opposed to using my hand and wiping graphite all over the place. And because of that, I was able to take this gentleman who had passed away. He was into drafting and architectural work and stuff, and he did some drawings, I guess. No, but nothing professional in that vein, but certainly in the architectural aspect. And I got pencils and rulers and all kinds of little tools that added to my studio. And I distinctly remember where those came from, because I remember how hot that day was, how many people were in the house, everything. Other members of my family got different things like curtains and things, fantastic stuff. But I hold those things dearly. And just like I talk about in the 80s Days Gone By videos, often when I'm mentioning things that have names on them or written on them, it's about the human experience, and how sometimes, even with the best laid plans, things don't always go as we expect. Or maybe even if you manage to get through all of your plans, there is still something of you left behind when it's all said and done. And then I wonder where that goes. And when I was going through this photography equipment, it really hit me hard. And it brought me down for a while, if I'm being completely honest. It really did. It shattered me for a little bit. And I got really emotional. And I'm not ashamed to say, it brought tears to my eyes thinking about that, because we're all going to end up there, right? And we only have so much time that we can do things and accomplish things and hopefully see our dreams and hopes come true. And if they don't, that's okay too, because I'm certain that there's going to be other things along the way that we do manage to manifest and complete. Thanks for watching, guys, always. And for all of you that are watching and do enjoy this stuff and everything, once again, thank you. That means the world to me. I'm glad that subscribers are growing. It's slow, but I like it. and it matters to me more than you can possibly imagine. I will catch you guys in my next journal next Monday. Let's see you then. Have a good week and enjoy the rest of the videos.